Think we just waiting for the live stream. Just from that thing from doing something. Oh, our church just.
Otherwise, no.
So good today.
Weekend, that's my weekend at a funeral.
Oh, no, sorry to hear
And we are good to go.
Okay, so call this meeting to order. Thank you for coming, everyone. We'll start with a roll call. Ashley White is present. Jeffrey Cohen. At least not yet, right?
Yes.
Chris Paulson,
President.
Ken Daniels.
Here.
Sandra Freeman is absent. Chris Ott is absent. And William Pepper.
you.
You are here. Number two, say a prayer. Everyone can bow their heads if you for reading my prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before you with grateful hearts for the opportunity to serve our community through this park. Bless this board with unity of spirit and purpose. Help us to see beyond our differences and work together with empathy, respect, and understanding. Grant us wisdom to make decisions that honor the needs of all people and vision to create a space where every generation feels welcome. May we be patient listeners, thoughtful leaders, and faithful stewards of the green space entrusted to us. Guide our conversations, strengthen our teamwork, and remind us always that this work is greater than ourselves. May our park become a place of peace, joy, and belonging for all. Amen. Number three, the civility pledge. Ms. Coulson?
Do I stand?
Yeah, we can stand.
I pledge to build a stronger and more prosperous community by advocating for civil engagement, respecting others and their viewpoints, and finding solutions for the betterment of my city or town.
Thank you. Okay, number four, discussion items, discussion of subcommittees. I don't remember exactly which meeting we went with the original ones, but we had like 7. William and I talked and we narrowed them down to 4 subcommittees: fundraising and grants, events and community engagement, park operations, and then legacy and cultural affairs. And I know that we're missing some board members and we're also gonna get some new board members, so this, the subcommittee could change a little bit in regards to who's on them, but we kind of just wanted to get kind of a roundtable discussion on who, where we see ourselves or what subcommittees we see ourselves on. Anyone wants to start or any thoughts?
I'm open, obviously, to all of them, but I think my strong suit is more so on the maybe the grant side of things, I would say, and
Okay.
like it's just such a wild card for me because I mean community engagement is a big thing for me as well. I think my strongest suit is community engagement, getting with youth, and tie that in with the grants. That's kind of my stronger suits. But I mean, really, wherever I'm needed, I'm flexible. So, any other thoughts on what you guys' strong suits and weaknesses potentially would be?
What were the 4 again? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I speak too fast sometimes. The first one is fundraising and grants.
Yeah.
And then number 2 is events and community engagement. Number 3 is park operations. 4 is legacy and cultural affairs. Which, just to put this out there, youth programming is not on there, but we could put that in with events.
That can be, that can be all the
Roll all that
side,
up.
right?
Mr. Freeman, who could not be here, did send me a text. So just so we got it on record. She is interested in park operations and legacy and cultural affairs. Personally, I have interest in park operations due to my history in site work construction. And also events and community engagement.
I'm probably not really strong in any of these, but I think I could help in the fundraising and grants probably.
Okay.
And maybe park operations.
I'm not sure where it fits, but, you know, I'm going out and asking around, but visiting the business community, including Mount Pleasant and Charleston, places like REI and places where there's a fit, meaning, you know, I can imagine there being events where you would have like kayaks and things like that, where they would be kind of contributing and get the benefit of a place to go and have soft impact and would therefore help support the park.
So the community engagement, you kind of roll that up in there a little bit.
Yeah. You know, I've been to parks and all over the live a lot of different places where you have park benches that are dedicated by families. In other words, where families, you know, the grandfather or, you know, some member of the family has passed, and so they have a park, they have a bench that's named for that particular person. Same thing for picnic tables, and even when you get to, you know, bigger opportunities, is a pavilion, large or small, whatever else but having sponsors. We don't have the kind of money it would take to do that, but people, you know, we end up getting some nice walking trails and have places to stop and rest, and maybe some exercise equipment that somebody like an REI or some of the gyms and that type of stuff could provide on a sponsorship basis. I mean, I think there's a lot of ways we can make soft money.
Yeah.
And not have banners and stuff, but have, you know, the tag say, we gave you this.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, I think can work.
I would look at that as on the fundraising grant side, that's kind of like market research, if you will, somewhat. But I think that's a great idea. I think, me personally, I think that could go under the fundraising and grants as well. I mean, that's a phenomenal idea. I've seen, you know, just like I know, I forgot where it was, but you can dedicate a brick. Like I love it. Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean,
Yeah, seven will use for those kinds of things all over the place, but I've just been places where Granny there was a granny bench that was.
Right.
They love their grandmother and wanted her to be remembered.
Yeah, I love that.
And I think that what you do is promote some kind of standards
Mhm.
from safety and durability and all that kind of stuff. And make people aware that you can honor your loved one in this way.
Yeah.
And contribute to the community. It could be almost anything.
Right.
Could be a potty.
Yeah, yeah, anything, I love that.
Maybe that's what your crazy uncle.
well, I guess you can sign up for 3 right now until we get it all diversified, I guess. I would do events, grants, and then legacy as well. I think I got a strong suit in all of those, honestly. That's kind of my standpoint.
Yeah, so just to recap right now. So fundraising and grants, we have William, Chris Colson, and Ken. Events and community engagement, we have Ashley and Ken. Park operations, we have Sandra, Ashley, Chris Colson. Legacy and culture affairs, we have Sandra and William. And I know Chris Ott will have a lot, he'll want to contribute to this, and I mean, Sandra will as well, more, and maybe on the 9th. We can make official delegations to committees.
Well, we would have to make formal committees to say like, these are our subcommittees that we're going to do, and then
That's night, right? To the floor.
we can, it would have to be a motion on the floor, for that, because it was mainly for like discussion purposes. I wasn't sure if you guys were going to make like the formal committees tonight. I didn't know if you guys were just gonna discuss them briefly and then have it at the next meeting.
Are you saying
for
for
an action item.
other committees too?
Well, because the committees haven't been formalized yet, so the
So
ones that
we
you guys
may
are
want to
discussing.
fit one, is what you're saying, or no, we already decided on the 4th.
Well, we definitely have a fifth one.
Yeah, everything's up for discussion. We just kind of narrow it down.
Or roundtable discussion, and then we can come back on the 9th and
Yeah.
officially motion the committees and officially delegate
Yes,
board members to the committees. Okay.
Yeah,
With that,
and we don't need one for finance, right, because the town will handle all that now.
yes, because you guys are part of the budget, so like we
Right, so
would,
town will handle all the finance. Okay.
Yeah, that's another task to me. Okay. Well, any more thoughts on subcommittees?
I'm okay, just add me to the events one as well, if you don't mind.
No, I do not mind.
As well.
Okay,
I don't wanna speak for anybody else, but I know, I do know my uncle was great with grant research and his
I was thinking that.
experience with it, but I'll let him speak for himself when it comes to that, so.
and his experience with
Mhm.
parks
The
and
park,
rec,
park and
yeah,
rec, yeah, so I think he'll be a huge influence in a lot of these things, so.
I agree. Okay, B, update on, PARD grants received.
So-
Can I have this one?
Yeah, sure. So those are the Park and Recreation Development Fund grants. The town has actually got 3 outstanding grants. Some of these are older ones that we need to spend down, and one of them just got approved, and I was just notified last week about this. So we've got one from 2023 that was submitted by Bill Wallace. And that is for like benches and tables at the municipal park, so we could kind of maybe tie in what you were discussing. We need to spend those funds by September 2026. And so this is kind of like matching funds, right? So they give 80% and we have to match 20, the town matches 20% for a total pot of money. So the funds, part of the grant, that 80% is $5,607.17. With our matching funds of $1,401.79 for a total of $7,008.96. There was also another one submitted by Bill Wallace for more benches and fencing along the berm. So at the top of the berm, on top of the stairs, the plan was to put benches and a fence. Kind of make it more enjoyable once you reach the top. The funds were for $5,987.36, with matching funds of $1,496.84. Total of $7,484.20 to be completed by October 2027. Then the last one was the one that I just submitted when I started. I just found out that it got approved. It was to do improved signage at each of the gates, so. You would have a clear gate 1, gate 2, gate 3. You would also have the hours of operation, the new rules and regulations. You could also make it QR code if you wanted to, but it would have updated signage across all 3 gates. That one was the funds were for $7,983.26, matching funds of $1,995.82 for a total of $9,979.08 to be completed by August 2028. The only other thing that we need to put up is kind of like the park that's here. We would just have to put up that PARD has submitted those funds. And I submitted all of the grants to the Greenbelt too, to be like, hey, I'm not sure if you guys knew that these 2 outstanding, I'm sure that they wouldn't be upset about the signs. But about the benches and the locations of those, I sent it to the Greenbelt so that we don't make them.
Okay.
Sure, that's that. But there's, if we wanted to do like any type of matching funds or anything like that, if we wanted to start doing like a program for benches to have a dedicated. We could set that up where we would say like you'd go out to bid and how much each bench would cost. And seeing how much the construction of the material and how many we put out, and if people wanna also. The board wishes to do it along with the town council. To do the dedications, and different stuff like that. If you wanted to tie it into this, or if you wanted to do something completely different, it would be.
And so will you clarify, when you say completion date,
So we have to spend the funds and submit the completed project to the state.
by that day, and where are we on all that? Has it been, everything's been,
I
okay?
haven't seen anything submitted on any of these.
You haven't anything submitted or anything?
So, I mean, the most recent one, I haven't done it since I just found out that it got approved. But the other 2, I haven't seen any files of their
Okay,
names.
and are there deadlines on the filing dates? Did I miss that?
Oh, it's,
It's still that completion date?
yeah, it's still by that completion date.
Okay.
I have a question, so. Just on each one of these, we gotta come up with 20%. Is that, will the town put any of that money
Yes,
in?
that's all, that it's already budgeted for those.
Oh, so the town will spend that money,
Yes,
so we just gotta figure out how to make this happen,
yes,
okay?
especially the first ones, because you do run the risk of losing the funds, which is what happened at the park. Right here is that. something happened and the funds weren't spent, and they take them back.
And those funds come from South Carolina, where? State?
Yeah, the state, sorry. Sorry. It's like the state and then it gets allocated to the county and then the county
Yeah.
brings it down to us.
So essentially, our job is to come up with a comprehensive plan on getting quotes and getting everything filled out to. Okay.
Yeah.
Easy enough, so the funds are there, we just need to go and get
We
it.
just need to get a move on, especially for like, so start off with the oldest ones. I mean, we could do them all in conjunction, knock them all out. We wanted to.
I mean, they're basically aligned with this, everything,
I know.
it's the same thing, so it makes sense to do that in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
makes sense to do it all.
We just do it all one time, except
Yeah.
maybe the gates, I'm not sure if the gate or, I'm not sure how that works, I know you guys are already getting quotes on that stuff already too, so I mean, yeah, we can knock it all out one time. No,
Okay, and do you, I'm unfamiliar with the grants and the application process and stuff, do you have, yeah, can you help lead that or help give us some guidance on that?
Well, I've submitted all of them, so like all of the grants and anything that the board does, or like that we go after would be submitted by the town, so like it would be the town representative.
Okay,
That would be filling it out, we would be saying like, it would have the board's approval, but it would say like, this is the application, it would have my name on it, signed as the officer of the town. And go through that grant process and just update the committee based on that. So these have already been submitted and accepted.
yeah, that's what I was
And
trying to
awarded.
get my head around.
Yes. So all of the ones that I've listed are awarded projects that we have to move forward with. I
Okay.
have not heard back on the green belt related to the benches or anything related to that,
Okay,
but they have been moving forward.
so next step from us on these three is getting the quotes and the bids for the side.
Kind of like, what do you want your benches to look like, how some, they can get pretty pricey depending on like. The different prices, we just did this at Seabrook and sometimes you can spend $10,000, which is what we don't have, but, something that's still nice but fits within our budget and where do we want to locate it around the park? Because there's one that just has around the park, and then there's one that's at the top of the room. So those would be the two grants that you can tie together.
So if we didn't wanna put them on the top,
that would be my question.
we'd lose the grant.
Well, I would talk to PARD and be like, hey, if we wanted to put it maybe at the base of it, because I think the idea was you walk up to the top, you can rest for a little bit and then walk back down.
Yeah.
Because there's some stairs that are in the
Yeah.
middle of the berm that lead up. Sorry, my hands a lot. So it's like you go to the top and then I think the idea was to have some benches and some seating for people when they reach the top and then they can walk back down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then the other first part of the grant was to have it maybe like scattered all over the place.
Can you share like the applications or what's been done so far with the board?
Yeah.
In an email so that we can kind of see the details on that,
Mhm.
and I think we can take the lead on some of that. I don't wanna let these funds go away,
Yeah, no.
so, yeah.
I would say to just keep me on copy on all of those, because it is for FOIA purposes.
Sure.
So then that way, if anybody does request to see how we went through that formal bid process.
Yeah. Of course, okay. Go ahead.
That's a question, so is it the board that would put bids out and figure this out, or would the town do that?
I can do that, but I know that we've been doing for some of the other gates and stuff that getting quotes and coming back, I can help assist it. Or facilitate it.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to figure out exactly what did we do versus the town? What do you need? What's the board need to do versus the town? And is that kind of?
I need you guys to come up with like a conceptual plan, right? So like, what do you guys want the benches to look like? Do we want this exact location here? How do you want what do we want to tell these contractors to say? The type of material, the type of maintenance that we would like to see with it. Color, if we want to have them colored, if we want to have them
Got it.
clean, like, there's a whole series of different things that need to be done to help.
Right, and you
Bring
have
us
some
there.
information on that you could send to us, okay, perfect, so then we get that, and we can kind of take that, take the lead on that
Yeah.
a little bit. And kind of get the conceptualization,
Because I know signs can get very expensive.
yeah,
It just depends on the type of materials, the type of paint, the physical metal, the size.
Yeah.
All this fun stuff, because I feel like we would want to have something that'll withstand a lot of weatherproofing. Because right now, the signs that are there kind of blending in with the nature, and so it's very hard to see, especially at Especially at the second gate, because you read it and you can't really quite tell, and it's outdated information.
You're referring to the donation, the signs that Chris Ott donated, or you're referring to other signs?
There's currently signs there, I'm not sure who, they've been there since I've been here, but they're like. It says like gate 1, gate 2, gate 3,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're like
There's
a
some new
foamy
ones.
material.
Okay, there are some new ones right before the office that Chris Ott donated, and they're attached to, I think at gate 1, it's attached to a tree. Maybe attached to a tree, gate 2 and gate 3, but they were just, temporary.
I haven't seen those recently.
They're there now. Okay. Any more
I
thoughts?
have a question, so.
Yeah.
And. I really don't know the answer to this, if the four of us on this board went over there. And met together and tried to decide where these benches would go and what we could recommend, is that not allowed because the.
We would just have to advertise it and make it known to the public that you guys would go in there. If you guys are going to make any decision, I wouldn't suggest making any decisions there. But you would have to notify the public to say that you guys are going on site so that any member of the public could also join.
Sure.
Okay, so we would do that. And then we would come up with a recommendation how all this should look.
I think a site visit would be good.
Huh?
I think a site.
I think
visit
it would
be good.
because I think, we should all put our heads together over there and figure out like, here's where these benches should look and.
Do you guys want
I
a
would think
next
so.
meeting to schedule the site visit, or do you guys want to do it?
And
It's
probably
gonna be
have
at the 9th.
one or two more board members.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I mean, it's a huge place, so. Yeah, right. And then we need a trail, like, for the benches along the trail, like they said, or.
I think interestingly, enough.
You don't necessarily
Different
have.
parks. They'll have a long trail.
Yeah,
There's also a shortcut for the people who don't or can't walk the whole trail. I went to a new, was an archaeological park in Texas. And they had trails, a trail that took, half a day. And then it was segmented in such a way that you could keep cutting it down, cutting it down, so little kids could participate as well. And I didn't want to too elaborate, but it works so that people of all ages and physical capabilities will be able to participate.
yeah, I think that would be great. I'm not hearing any money for a trail here, so. We could.
That would be some more discussions on the operations, because you would want to also consider who's maintaining that trail. How are we going to maintain it? Who's gonna make sure that
Yeah,
if somebody's there? Are we gonna start charging for the park? Are there different trails that are going to be at different costs? Not to be able to be on, but these are just some things of, I think it's a great idea. But then you guys would come up with the meat to say, okay, this is how we want to operate it. This is what we want to see. This is how we're gonna make it do it. Catherine, but make sure that this is in the budget.
could we put in another grant for a trail too?
I would have to look at our grants right now. It also depends on like the park grants we're able to receive. But some of the other grant fundings that we could go after, since the town is behind on audits, we are not an eligible applicant.
Okay.
So the town is moving forward with trying to get those done as quickly as we possibly can. It's just, they did a deep dive into our last audit. Which is why it's taking so.
When are we projected to be, and I know you and you got a short staff. When are we projected to see those available grants become available again? Or those grants become available again?
The park grants, they're.
As far as the things that are on hold.
The other ones, it would have to be once we're all caught up, so we would have to be. Current with our most current fiscal year, so we've got 3 more audits that we gotta complete, and the goal is to get those done ASAP, because we have other grants for like. Water projects and stuff like that we need to get done.
So potentially by end of Q1 of 26. Before then.
That-
And if you don't know, you don't know.
That,
I don't wanna put you in the
that's
spot
a
like that.
pretty. I would say personally, I would say Q1 is for 2026 would be a very quick turnaround to do all 3 audits.
Okay,
My goal is to get this done like. By the end of this current fiscal year to be current and caught up, so then that way we're on a regimented routine of. We end a fiscal year, we do an audit, we end a fiscal year, we do the audit.
gotcha. Yeah, I just want to kind of have an idea of where we would stand when it comes to that, because I mean, when those grants do become available, that's massive for us. I mean, those are the big grants that we're looking for, so, okay, so.
Well, I got on the grants, unless there's anything else on that. Okay, C is discussion of potential new board members. Do you all review?
I did, yeah,
Town council will officially, but any thoughts on that?
I like all candidates, honestly. I noticed that Mr. Hockaday had a military background and he works at St. James. I think he'd be a great. That probably was my favorite candidate because I mean
He's
he's
a pretty diverse guy. That was
Yeah.
a really nice resume for doing a lot of different things.
yeah. So that was probably my top candidate that I liked. I think they were all they were. I mean, I think they were all good.
High quality people.
Yeah.
And that will be made, so council has also seen all of the applicants. And they're making that decision. It's currently on their agenda for September 4th.
Okay.
So this Thursday. Okay.
So what is our say in this? If that's if they're just gonna.
They're the ultimate decider. If you guys would like to make any type of recommendation, you can. This was more of kind of like this is the first round for doing it.
Gotcha.
So again, it was put on here for more discussion purposes. If you guys wanted to, it would have to be a formal motion in a second.
Is there any reason you wouldn't take all of them?
The way that the board is set up is that there's only 9 members, so
Okay.
2 members have left, so you're filling 2 vacancies.
So we have to fill two.
Well, council. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, based on the instructions, if I had to rule somebody out, then I don't want to do it. I mean, the only person who didn't put a resume was Frazier, so I was like, maybe I don't know. But as far as like, I think they're all good. They all have good reasons on why they wanted to join. Good luck to them, I guess. My vote would be Mr. Hockaday. And Miss Asia personally, but like I said, they're all great candidates, and I'm sure, council will make the right decision. That's just me personally.
any formal motions to recommend? Anyone?
Well, I motion to formally nominate Mr. Hockaday as one of the candidates, and I'll leave. It was up to you guys.
Second. It's a really broad based skill set.
Mhm.
So we're gonna vote. Call a vote on the motion to formally recommend.
So our call a vote motion to formally recommend Mr. Virgil Hockaday as one of the newest members of the board, or we can't vote on that, so.
Well, it's
Review
your
recommendation.
recommendation to the
Recommendation.
council for them to consider adding Mr. Hockaday as one of the potential vacancies.
What she said.
Okay. I'm gonna abstain from voting because I'm chair and intend to sort of keep my role neutral on any board members.
If you guys support them, I'll vote with you.
I'm just going on with the resume.
Yeah, I'm just reading resumes.
I don't know any of these people,
So
so.
resume is strong.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But everything I read about everybody just sounded great, so I mean, just, if their resume and the application is who they say they are, then I mean, I think any of them would be great to join the team, so.
I could note that to council that you guys recommend at least one of the vacancies be. Recommend that the board would see Mr. Hockaday as one of the candidates, but again, that is completely up to council. We can say-
100%.
Sure.
Thanks.
Understand that. Okay. Any other thoughts, concerns? Short, but
Well, when would you schedule an on-site so we can get started on the real stuff?
I think we were discussing of having that potentially as a formal discussion at the September 9th meeting. When we have more board members here too.
yeah,
And any new ones that we're coming.
Yes.
Okay,
so number 5 would be adjournment, a motion to adjourn.
I'm also.
Thank y'all.
fine. Thank you.